And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Mark Haye joining us in studio, out of the box college planning strategies. We're going to talk with him about that. Also, Congress versus Wall Street, the new bill that could change who buys homes in America. Good stuff there coming up as well. No data centers in Tampa Bay, according to our friend Bernie Jacques and other leaders in the area. We see a lot of posts about that. Let's hope we can keep it that way. Also, Anna Paulina Luna and 24 other members have signed a letter pledging to vote no on any Senate bills unless Save America is passed. So, of course, we like that as well. Mark Haye, give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some out-of-box college planning, and we're going to compare it to a 529.
I like that. All right, good stuff. Yeah, it's interesting to see when you think about, where to put your money, how to plan for the future, and some of the returns that people are seeing and the economic news. Kevin Warsh, the new Fed chair, he's looking at some of the numbers. He's saying, hey, we can't start cutting yet, although I know President Trump's can't wait to cut rates,
Yeah, well, hopefully it gets cut pretty soon. But again, historically, it's really not that bad. What's it, 6.5%?
Yeah,
whatever.
6.5%.
It's
not
really
terrible.
kind of where it should be. I always say that. You know what I mean? Like, how does the bank make money or anybody make money if it's less than 5%?
Yeah.
We just got spoiled with COVID and it was 2.5%, 3% during those years.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably never going to happen again. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we go with this thing and how it turns out for the second half of the year, especially with all this money flowing into AI. There's just so much money going into AI data centers. It's like there's a bubble there. I think there's a bubble there coming up that's going to pop at some point. Also, Lee County, Florida, you got a suspect that shoots at a law enforcement drone. He's arrested for that. We'll discuss that story later coming up with Richard Cumbie, Home Run Electric and Communications, our electrician on the program. Doing a great job out there for all of our audience. And I want to remind you, if you're buying, selling, investing, refinancing, we're a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay. We actually have a 98% list price to sell price ratio. So if you are listing with other average real estate agents, you're leaving money on the table. We broadcast our listings in ways that other real estate companies can't and don't. 6085 Bahia Del Mar Boulevard, right here in beautiful Pinellas County, St. Petersburg, number 106. This is a ground unit, corner location, fully furnished, excellent property here, turnkey rental as well. If you'd like to live in it for partial of the year, you rent it out by the week. It's generating about $30,000 in income. It's a 2.2, 1145 square feet, 6085 Bahia Del Mar Boulevard. Beautiful property, Mediterranean look with the tile roof. Beautiful property there. Granite countertops. Got some updates on the interior there. Fully furnished, stainless steel appliances. And 6085 Bahia Del Mar Boulevard South, number 106, St. Petersburg, Florida. Beautiful Pinellas County, just a short drive away from the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of beautiful Pinellas County. 2665 Meander Cove, Wesley Chapel. This is a luxury listing from Aaron on our team. This is a multi-million-dollar listing, over $1 million listing here. 2665 Meander Cove, Wesley Chapel, Mediterranean Palace. Gorgeous home here. 4 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 2 half baths, and you're just shy of 5,100 square feet, 1/3 of an acre. This property was built newly in 2023, and it's a gorgeous property. You got a media room, a movie room there. You got exercise room, gated community, upgraded lot as well. No neighbor on 2 or 3 sides there. It's a beautiful property. 2665 Meander Cove, Wesley Chapel. We're getting a lot of activity on it showings-wise, so schedule your showing today if you're looking for a nice luxury home, estate-style home up in Wesley Chapel. Another beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got about 50 current listings, and we feature our listings on air. We also negotiate very firmly and strongly for our buyers. So if you're looking to buy, we'd love to help you on the negotiation side there. And we have a great team here around with the Quarterback Show. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
Yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
That's right. Shout out to our veterans out there, all of the folks getting it done overseas and at home, and thwarting domestic opportunities for terrorism, and like we saw at the UFC fights. Remember that, Mark, last week at the UFC fights? There was this plan to bring drones in there and get everybody running one way and have snipers. I mean, that's who the open border let in. All these people came into our country, and you have all these different plots that are, luckily we have Kash Patel and some really good people. Tulsi Gabbard dropping a hammer on the way out this week about Fauci. A lot of stuff in the news, but we always say there's that stuff out there and there's the stuff inside your own brain and inside your own sphere of control. So that's why we like to talk finance with you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate it. And the World Cup has been amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
USA is doing awesome. Can't wait for the next game coming up, and they've already qualified for the top 32. So I think I saw the first time they won 2 in a row in the World Cup since like 1930. Like crazy.
It's unbelievable. I just talked to Joe, who has a show here on Joe Mullins. He has a show right here on 860, and he's down there in Miami. He says, you can't go anywhere without bumping into Brazilians. He said they are here in numbers. He said, I can't imagine that stadium not having like 90% Brazilians there.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And what's really cool is this, watching all these different countries, all the pride, and when they sing their national anthem, guess what they're not doing?
Kneeling.
Not taking a knee. It's crazy. They got the hand on their heart. They're crying. They're singing. I love seeing it. I just love it, man. I just think it's so cool. And I love the Olympics. I love the World Cup. I never grew up as a soccer fan, but I just appreciate the World Cup. And
the competition,
I'm into it.
Right?
I'm like into it. I'm like vibing it. So
are you watching a lot of it? Yeah.
I'm loving it. So I'm excited to see how this all ends up. But
that's great.
I love seeing that America's doing a really good job. Home field advantage, I guess, right?
That'd be cool, And I know American mayors and governors are loving it too, because you've got a lot of economic impact that's going to flow through not only the obvious stuff, rentals and bars and restaurants. But when you have this, you got that extra infrastructure. You've got a lot of projects that are going to be greenlit that may not have otherwise been greenlit. Now you do have some costs, so I think they can overstate those benefits in some cases. As I've seen some reporting on that as well. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, they have costs, but again, we talk about different strategies for finance, and again, the Augusta rule. You get 14 days if you're living in Miami.
Yeah,
you want to rent your house for 14 days. This is the weeks to do it.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like, you get big money right now, and then if you get into July, when they get into the finals, the final 8, final 4, the championship, those rentals are going to go for big money, and the hotels are going to be just spiking. You know what I mean? So we talk about that stuff. But that's a really good opportunity. For people that live in the area. That are Seattle, Miami, and New York, all that stuff. Take advantage of the 14 days. Use it all for these next couple of weeks down there.
Exactly.
For that's big money.
So you can write off dollar per dollar that you're getting rentals. Is that how you're working?
Yeah. So if you're a business owner, just real quick, if you're a business owner, you can rent your property 14 days out of the year. You can choose the 14 days. Well, let's just use the World Cup for 2-3 weeks. Rent your quote unquote your house to your business. You can deduct that. Let's say it's $100,000, which it could be. And it's $100,000. You deduct it, and then you get to keep it tax free. But then you say, what if I'm not a business owner? Well, you don't get a deduction, but guess what you do? You get the money tax free. So you could shift money to yourself tax free and not have to pay any income.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a really good opportunity. But I always think about
it's
that
great.
stuff.
Yeah, Super Bowl. I mean, all those different times.
It's really good stuff.
It comes in down in St. Pete, where I think you frequent a lot, is the Grand Prix down there.
Yep.
So there's opportunities where you see that happen.
Absolutely.
Golf tournaments. I mean, big time.
That's where it started, Augusta, Georgia. That's where it started, Augusta rule. So.
Yeah, man. So, Mark, today we were going to talk about out-of-the-box college planning strategies. This is Mark Haye, Capital, Tax, and Wealth here. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes. Mark's our financial advising expert contributor.
Yeah, and I thought what would be really cool is comparing a 529 to a piece of real estate.
Yes.
So everybody everybody wants to plan for college. That's one of the biggest things that parents want to do. Grandparents even help with it, but planning for college, and we know a 529 or even a Florida prepaid is obviously mainstream. But let's just use a 529 because that's more universal than Florida prepaid. So let's use a 529. Everybody is doing what they're told, meaning let's go buy a home. Let's go put money in a 401k. Let's put money in a 529. And when you do all that, you're locking all your money up. And people all the time say, I feel like we're doing everything right. We're saving. I just don't have any money because the money's in the house, your primary house. which we could argue is an investment or not because you can't get to the equity unless you want to pull it out. And then your 401k is locked up to 59.5. There's penalties and taxes. Then you put a 529, it's locked up again. You can't get to the money. So let's say your grandparents or the parents have a baby, and we're just going to use $50,000, and they say we're going to dump $50,000 into a 529, and 18 years from now you're going to have enough money to go to college. Okay, there's rules with the 529. If you don't use it for college, it's income tax, it's 10% penalty. You can't touch it unless it's for a college approved. And let's say a 7% return every single year. 18 years from now, that it's going to be worth maybe $170,000. Okay, who knows if that's going to be enough to cover college 18 years from now? We don't know what that cost is going to be, but that's what it is. The money's locked up, you can't get it, but it's there for college. Or we take that same $50,000 and we say, let's go buy a $250,000 rental property. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-1, doesn't matter. Something that is affordable. So we're going to put the same $50,000. Yeah. We're going to put down, and we're going to finance a $200,000 loan. So $250,000, $50,000 down and finance $200,000. Now all of a sudden you're a business owner, which we talk about all the time. Yes. If you're a W-2 employee and you have a spouse at home, get her a real estate license. Now all of a sudden you're a real estate professional, and we get this property, and now all of a sudden we have 18 years as a college plan, right? But what's really cool is you can improve your lifestyle today for you and your family, because not only do you get to have this rental property, but now the rent is a cash flow to you and your family. And let's say you can cash flow $500 or $1,000 a month after you pay, the loan and taxes, stuff like that.
Right.
And then it's appreciating. But then on top of that, you're taking advantage of the tax code because you have this rental property, because it's an LLC, because you're using it as a business. You can offset W-2 income. And in the first year alone, if you took advantage of the cost segregation and the bonus depreciation, in our example, we bought it for $250,000. Let's say half of it we do an accelerated benefit, meaning we're going to take $125,000 of a non-cash loss today. Okay. And if you're a 30% tax bracket, that's going to save you $35,000 in taxes. So you put $50,000 down, but you got back $35,000 in taxes. So what did it really cost you to do this, right? Well, the next year comes. You have depreciation. You get to write off your cell phone, your travel. You get to write off property taxes, insurance, interest on a credit card. You get all these deductions. And again, let's say you save $15,000, $10,000 in taxes that year. Do it again. Now all of a sudden you can pay your kid that's under 18 to help go and manage this property. What do? They're going to clean the property. They're going to go with you to help market. They're going to do whatever, but you can pay them $16,000 a year. Deduct that. Keep it tax free. But the point is, you have so much opportunity over 18 years. Yeah. That you can improve your lifestyle. Let's say you have the second kid, and instead of putting $50,000 in 529, put $50,000 in a second property. We have a third kid. Now we put $50,000 into a third property. We have 3 properties going now, and we have 18 years for that to happen. Now we get to 18 years old, right? And let's say that rent today was $2,500 a month. Right. Okay, well, I'm just saying that number. But 18 years from now, it's $5,000 a month. Yep. Now all of a sudden, that's $60,000 a year of cash flow that you can use to either just pay for college, or you've significantly reduced that mortgage over 18 years, or it's paid off. Right. Because if you make an extra payment every year, you can pay it off in 15, 16 years anyways. But let's say you paid it off or significantly reduced it. Well, we know that the 529, we gave it a 7% appreciation a year. But let's be kind, and let's say real estate was only 4%. Mm-hmm. But it's not 4% on the $50,000. It's 4% on the $250,000. Right. So that 4% over $250,000 or 18 years, now it's worth $500,000. Yeah, because you're leveraging. You got it, $500,000. We paid it off too. 18 years, we paid off that loan, or the renters did pay off that loan. Now we have $500,000 of equity that's earning $5,000 a month of rent in our example, and we say college is going to cost $300,000, right? Well, the 529 lost. You only have $170,000. Where the rental property has up to $500,000 in equity. You could pull out $400,000 to go to any institution you want, tax-free, and then the renters are paying that off again. Yeah, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Let's say your kid doesn't go to college, and let's say, okay, we got both these plans. We got the 529, there's rental property, and let's say they go to the military. They start a business. They want to be a plumber. They want to be a fireman. Who cares? They don't go to college. That 529 is basically wasted, meaning we can't touch it until 59.5. Otherwise, we're going to pay income tax and a 10% penalty,
Jeez.
right? So you're locking your money up again.
What about a trade school? Can
Yeah,
they go to a trade school?
Now, I mean, it has to qualify. The 529 has rules.
Okay.
You know, I'm not saying it doesn't, but typically it does not.
Okay.
You know, it has to be a major university.
Yeah.
And then you look at, okay, we got a rental, and again, the kid's not going to college. He's going to go to, like you said, be a fireman. I'm gonna go start a business, go in the military, whatever. You get to keep the property, and it's just it's increasing your cash flow, your overall portfolio. And then you can decide what you want to do with it. I want to keep renting it.
Yeah.
I want to sell it. I want to 1031 it all into a different property, and my wife and I want to move on the beach. Whatever. I'm just saying you got so much more flexibility if people would stop and say, okay, instead of doing mainstream and locking all our money up, what if we did this? What if we bought a piece of property as, quote unquote, our college plan and took advantage of the tax code and saved all that money? You know what I mean? Because a 529, sometimes just putting $50,000 is not going to be enough. Like we just did the math, it's going to be 170 and at 7%, 18 years. Most of the times you got to continue to put money in. That means you got to keep putting capital in. If you do it our ways with the real estate, you're not putting any more capital in.
Yeah, and the other thing as well is when you look at that on paper, if you're applying for government money or something, maybe it's a single parent.
Didn't even get
maybe they divorce, right?
You beat me to it. Yeah, so you go and say, look, we're going to apply for grants. Well, the 529 gets put on the grant application. Guess what you just did? You eliminated that. You saved for college, so you don't get the grants. We're going to give it to somebody else that didn't save or doesn't have the income. The real estate's not going to go on there. Typically, they don't care about the asset. They just want to know your income, your cash flow. What do you have saved? What's your liquid money?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when you have a rental property, and let's say you have 2 or 3 kids, 2 or 3 properties, and you're going against your W-2 and your spouse is a real estate professional, you're not showing any income because it's offsetting it every single year if you do it properly. Now all of a sudden you're going to get so much grants because you show no income. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be eligible for a lot of grant, and you get to keep your money, and you get to keep the cash flow, and you get to and hopefully 18 years, like I said, all those properties are paid off, and we're not going off and buying these huge properties. You know what I mean?
I love it. Yeah.
And then let's say the kid goes to the military, 4 years later comes back from the military, you could give him that property and let him start a little business.
Yeah, and you need cash, you refinance it, pull some equity out. Now you got some liquid paper.
Absolutely.
Got some liquid money
and
there ready to
loans
go.
are tax-free.
That's right.
Loans are tax-free, everybody.
The secrets
Keep
of the rich,
pulling it
right?
out. You got it.
Take advantage of the tax code,
I
refinance,
think it's
pull
an
out the
amazing
cash.
idea. Now,
Absolutely.
what do you do with all the tax savings?
Well, let's tease that for the second half here. So Mark Haye, more with Mark Haye coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, and we're going to talk more with Mark about out-of-the-box college planning strategy versus a 529 plan coming up. Also, Congress versus Wall Street, the new bill that could change who buys homes in America. Quick break, right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for my friend Captain Jimmy Hartley, owner of Salty Water Fishing Charters. You can find him online, saltywaterfishingcharters.com. He took me and my son out, and we caught some snooks, some redfish, some trout. Had a great time on the Tampa Bay waters. Reach out to the show, and we'll put you in touch with Captain Jimmy Hartley, saltywaterfishingcharters.com. 813-917-1894, 813-917-1894. I want to tell you about our employee benefits program. This is a really cool package that we offer for employers out there. Education, guidance, incentives. So a real estate benefit that you can add for no cost. Partner with companies of all sizes to provide valuable real estate education, exclusive employee incentives, and trusted guidance through every step of the buying, selling, or investing process. At no cost, we're going to empower your employees, strengthen your company, and build brighter futures for them. Educational seminars, first-time buyer support, employee incentives, luxury, upsize expertise, new construction, building, as well as investment opportunities. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. You can reach us at 813-917-1894. Check us out online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. brimes@kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. brimes@kw.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, we're going to continue this conversation with Mark Haye, Out of the Box College Planning, and how real estate can play into that. Also, Congress versus Wall Street, a new bill that would change who buys homes in America. There's a bill moving through Congress that would limit how many homes institutional buyers can buy. And if that passes, that's going to mean a lot for first-time buyers, that middle income kind of wage earner that we talk a lot about here on the show, our police, our fire, our teachers, folks like that. So Mark Haye here in studio. We're going to go back to him in just a moment. Before we do, we like to feature our listings on air and maximize the exposure for our listing clients, our sellers. 9901 Bay Drive, Gibsonton, beautiful waterfront property right here on the Alafaya River. Access, quick, about 20-minute drive from Tampa. You're on the boat, you're out in the bay, you're fishing, you enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. 9901 Bay Drive, Gibsonton, Florida, 135 feet of river frontage right here in beautiful Hillsborough County. 100 East Shell Point Road, commercial property in Ruskin. 6,700 square feet, plenty of parking, half-acre lot, beautiful opportunity here I like it for a mixed-use concept, one of those kind of co-creative workspaces. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay, 100 East Shell Point Road, Ruskin. And you can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
Mark Haye.
Yep. And then when I come back, next time, we'll continue the conversation, because once you save money on the taxes, then where do you put that money? And then I'll get into that and do, again, continuing the college planning, etc. But I know, we talked about, when we're off air here, that Congress hopefully is going to pass something where these big hedge fund companies like BlackRock can't come in and just buy up neighborhoods.
That's right.
Jack up rent, jack up the prices of the properties. And I hope it passes.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
do, because the rent could come down, the prices could come down, and people could start affording it. Better teachers and like I said, cops and firemen and stuff like that are getting priced out.
Well, good news on affordability too. The 30% affordability milestone is now the right time to buy in Tampa Bay. For the first time since 2022, the typical mortgage payment has dropped below 30% of median household income. That's good news for people.
Well, really good news.
How can they connect with you?
Rent's dropping too. Anyways, reach out, 727-804-7220. Again, 727-804-7220. And like I said, we'll pick up and finish this conversation next time I'm here.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, no data centers in Tampa Bay, according to State Representative Bernie Jocks. We're going to talk about that. Richard Cumbie joins us in studio as well. Home Run Electric and Communications coming up here. And also, Lee County, there's a suspect that shoots down a drone or shoots at a drone, a law enforcement drone of all drones to be shooting at. Quick break, right back.
This is Ward Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about data centers. We also have drones being shot at. We've got Richard Cumbie joining us in studio as well, Home Run Electric and Communications. Give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about today, Richard.
We're going to be talking about efficiency, some electronics, some electrical work, and anything else in between.
I like it. Yeah, we'll get into that and also have a little conversation about the real estate market, kind of go over some of the latest stats. As you know, my wife Lindsay and I own a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay, and we always like to feature our real estate listings live on air and maximize the exposure on the sale of our real estate listings, helping our sellers maximize and profit more with less headaches. 11101 Sumner Road in Wimauma, Florida. This is a unique property. We've got a kind of a mixed-use property here. You've got a residential component, a home there, a place to live, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,620 square feet. You got 5 acres, just shy of 5 acres of land here, and you also have a fully functional farm in Wimauma that produces about $6,000 to $8,000 a month in vegetable revenue. The property also has greenhouses, mostly fenced, and it's zoned AR, so you get that tax break, those incentives, tax incentives as well. So great opportunity to buy a beautiful mixed-use property right here in Hillsborough County, Wimauma, Florida. Beautiful opportunity here in Tampa Bay. I love this property. It's great, especially for those folks that have that that mindset of, hey, I want to grow my own food, and take a look at being more healthy in that manner as well. 4925 North US Highway 441 in Ocala. This one is also residential / commercial, kind of another mixed use opportunity. You've got a residential home, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2236 square feet, almost 8 acres of land, and a fully remodeled estate. But you also have 5.3 acres that are zoned B4 commercial with frontage on North US Highway 441. This is offering endless business opportunities, including retail, distribution, light manufacturing, storage, automotive services, and more. 8 acres of land, high and dry, up in beautiful horse country in Ocala, Florida. You got a little topography up there, too. You got some waving hills. 4925 North, US Highway 441, Ocala, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate, and you can see all of our listings online at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio and TV show experts at ConsumerQB.com. All right, Richard Cumbie joining us in studio. He is our electrician and expert contributor for all things electrical related, Home Run Electric and Communications. Welcome back in, sir.
Thank you. You were talking about the rolling hills. Those are mountains in Florida, just to clarify.
Yeah, those are mountains. Florida mountains up in Ocala. And it's, at least we have some topography. We got a little bit of that here. And, definitely horse country up there. Beautiful when you see, you're driving, even just off of I-75, you look to the right. Sometimes you see those nice cow pastures and, horses, horse farms. Beautiful oak trees, kind of old Florida there. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it reminds, as we all grew up here in the past, you remember before a lot of development, and even in Hillsborough County, you see before and after of like 50 years.
Yeah.
Tampa kind of looks the same as the central area, but, as it expands, because it's going out to Dade City now and even over there. So it's expanded, but.
Yeah, Wesley Chapel's a big growth area.
Yeah.
a lot of growth happening up there. Speaking of growth, a lot of data centers. A lot of people are concerned about these data centers. Huge suck on the water. Of course, the electrical is what we've talked about before. But we got a post here from State Representative Bernie Jacques, a friend of our show. He says, great to see local leaders standing up against the building of data centers in our community. And he shared a post from a gentleman named Ricky Butler of Pinellas. I believe he's somewhere in Pinellas County there, or Pinellas Park. The proposed data center, as the news has started to circulate, received messages about the application submitted for data center in the city. The fact that data centers are not specifically addressed in our land development code adds more complex nature. There's been ongoing conversations, other local governments. The topic has produced sound bites over the last several weeks. It goes on to say data centers have no place in Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, or anywhere else that is navigating the growth-related challenges that we are, never mind the weather vulnerabilities. So a lot of people seem to be kind of stacked against this. I'm definitely on the side of no data centers being built in our area for multiple reasons. But are you hearing that? What's your thoughts from electrician standpoint?
Yeah, they're building them, but I think you can put a data center anywhere because you're going to communicate through fiber optics anyway. So you don't have to necessarily put them in that county, but if you build the infrastructure a little bit more out to where maybe a power plant or so, you can build up the infrastructure for there and then build around that county. I think that's the best aspect from it to go forward, not just put it in a city because that's where the grid is. Maybe if you put it on the outskirts and build that up and then more development, but it would be in a central location and that would be able to build up that area, so something like Silicon Valley, is to where it's centralized and that you could grow out of that, and that might be a hot spot for Florida. There's a lot of work coming in with them, and I know Amazon, a couple of big companies in the state of Florida building hospitals and big infrastructure like Amazon's. They're going up all over the place, so they're going to be around, and AWS is a part of that infrastructure with Amazon. So you could probably combine is going to be coming around there pretty soon, but they're building out there towards Dade City and outward, so that's where they're going.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many get approved, where they get approved. I know there's some on the East Coast as well, and I think what really scares a lot of people is just the sheer scale of these buildings, the scale of when you start talking about 150,000 square feet, 300,000 square feet buildings, huge monstrosities. You start thinking about the electric grid, you hear about the water supply, how hot those things run. And what I hear about the water is that it's not just reusing and recycling those waters, it's evaporating. It gets literally so hot, the waters just simply vanishes, and evaporates. It's so that you have the sound, imagine living close to one of these and having the sound constantly that's generated from those things. And then there, also the thought about the EMP, the electro pulse from these things as well. But it's interesting because on the same token, you think about the passive aggressive war that we have with China and some of these other countries, and the battle that's taking place on the frontier of technology and computing and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, it's a catch on one side or another what you want to battle with it. I don't understand what the whole thing with the water is, and I don't understand why it's making so much noise. That's my thing, because I can understand there's a lot of fans going on, but that's more internally. So I
think it's water cooled is what they're saying. It takes a lot of water, so the water's cooling around it.
Well, that's the AC system then. Okay.
Yeah, that's something along the lines of the cooling of the batteries and the machines themselves.
Okay, yeah, and this is we're capitalistic, you know what I mean. So hopefully we can come around and have some of our developers or inventors come up with better ways and to make things better. And so maybe they need to call the show and get some advice from us.
There we go. Put it in a cold climate. I always say, put it in a cold climate somewhere in the tundra. Right. Because is that one of your main problems? Is it so hot? Well, put it in a cold climate. Put it up in Alaska or somewhere where we're not really doing a lot with it. But why don't you tell the audience also? We're talking with Richard Cumbie here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Home Run Electric and Communications. Tell the audience just kind of a sample of how you help people, what you do for folks, and I know you've helped me with a couple projects, and I'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, it's I get a lot of advice for like maybe a company called Core Essentials, and what they do is they supply the manufacturer, right? So they have programs that come out much like what we do. We do outreach programs, so we're always trying to outreach to people, see what they need, try to make life a little bit easier. Hey, you need a lighting package. Well, I'm not a lighting specialist. That's not what I do. I hook up the electric, but I got somebody I can hook you up with, and we can come that will work with me, so we can come to a conclusion about what the best products you need and how to install it. And that's kind of what we do. We kind of we're a one-stop shop in everything that you need to be able to get to that next level and develop. We specifically care about the customers, and we want that reciprocated. We care about you, you care about us, and we want to feel comfortable. And not every time you do something, everything's going to work out, but it's not how you go into things, it's how you come out of things that make you who you are, and that represents your company and how you want to, show yourself.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, things like even at my home, we hooked up the Starlink. I mean, that was something I had been wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
Called Richard up, came out, got it done, we got it installed. And now it's amazing how fast that satellite dish hits the satellites and comes back into my home, into my router. It's like less than a nanosecond or something.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. I'm very mechanically inclined, and that's what we talk about is electrics. The mechanical part of putting things together. And sometimes you might not have all the knowledge, but you have, like in your network, we reached out to some other guys that specialize in that.
Right.
And then, hey, this is how we can do it. I learned something, you learn something, we all learn something, we all build off of that. And that's kind of where you want to be with the growth with Tampa Bay, along with the businesses and everything that comes together.
Right on. And here we are in hurricane season again. Mm-hmm. So great time to have that panel, that sub panel, pre-wired kind of to your generator. Can you talk about that project?
Yeah, so hurricane season is upon us, and they got monsoons and all kinds of stuff happening in the world now. And so what you want to be able to do is during those times, not because we're from Florida, so we always think, we'll deal with it when it comes. Well, when it's coming and you're done with electric, it's not always the best situation, because it's not going to just happen immediately, because there's sometimes permits and stuff you need to do. So what we can do is we can come out there and we can hook up a generator plug for you, so you can have a portable generator, keep it in your garage when you're not using it, and then, okay, we lost power, just go ahead and plug it in and make sure your family has some comfort during those times, and quite possibly take a hot shower.
There you go, exactly. And it's so much easier instead of running cords throughout the home, right? You're going to be stringing up, extension cords, trying to get a fan running. But when you think ahead and do what we did, is you have it pre-wired.
Yeah.
And you're all set to go.
Yeah, and you don't be like the electrician that doesn't do that, because he's just too busy trying to take care of everybody else. Yeah. And he's got extension cords running everywhere. And I'm like, oh, man, I got to get my wife was telling me, she's like, yeah, maybe we should do that at our house. I'm like, yeah, that might be a good idea there.
It was a good idea. Put it on the honey-do list there.
Yeah, Richard. Right. Maybe I'll make it home in time when I'm not servicing my customers, right?
I know, right? I hear you, man. I want to shift gears. We got a funny story, kind of an interesting story. It's interesting with these drones flying around everywhere. And, here's what somebody did down in Fort Myers area, Lee County.
A suspect was arrested after he had allegedly pointed and fired his gun at a police drone.
Yeah, you're shooting at our drone. Yeah, it's me, it's police. But he's shooting at that. Oh, yeah, it's on video. Yeah.
Try to deny it.
According to the Lee County Sheriff's Department, their drone as first responder is a new technology they've implemented to help protect and serve residents. They say the suspect fired 2 rounds in the direction of the aircraft as it was being used to assist the officers with the call. That's when they stepped in.
Take it out of your pocket?
Yep.
Get rid of that?
Elvin Antonio Haye was taken into custody, and authorities say a BB rifle loaded with steel projectiles was recovered.
So it was a BB gun that he shot.
Yeah.
It says a BB rifle or a BB, so yeah. What's your advice to people thinking they're going to shoot down a drone there, Richard?
I almost said something here.
Just say no.
The possibilities, unless you're a sniper, are pretty low, so don't even risk it.
Yeah.
Unless you got something that can spread out and hit it like that.
Where's that bullet going to land, first of all?
Right. That's like over in the Middle East, the fire the guns up in the air. Well, that bullet's coming down somewhere. And we experience a lot of that during the times of 4th of July. People shoot guns in the air. Well, the bullet's coming down because it's a trajectory. It just doesn't go into outer space.
Yeah.
But funny enough, you say that about the drone. I was driving down the interstate one day and I saw this drone up there, and I'm like, until you just played that clip, that's what the police are probably doing now. Instead of the helicopters or airplanes, they're flying the drones, and they'll catch you like that on your speeding.
Yeah,
and you won't even be able to notice it.
Yeah, they'll know. Like they do it on bridges too. They'll have like a white line on the pavement, and they'll time you. Like, okay, so if it gets from line 1 to line 2 in an X amount of seconds, we can calculate a speed,
right?
And that's how they'll catch you.
Yeah.
So I imagine they can use drones to do that too.
Oh yeah, but the drones that can have extra technology in it, because what we were just talking about, AI-driven software inside of it that can project whatever speed you're going.
Yeah, they're going to shoot a paintball gun at us. Yep, the red one gets a $100 ticket.
Oh, don't worry. When you go over that mountain on the other side, you'll see the police officers sitting there pulling everybody over.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you got to pay for the road somehow, I guess. Right?
Yeah, right.
All right, quick break, right back. Richard Cumbie here in studio with us. A little real estate talk also coming up. And have you heard of Mike Rowe? What a cool guy. He's got a really cool foundation. We'll talk a little bit about his foundation because we talk a lot about also supporting the trades here. It's not just about a 4-year degree plan and going to a university. We should also have our youth thinking about trades and things of working with their hands, blue collar, and getting into the trades and supporting a growing economy, a growing housing market. Quick break, right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, online at davidreynoldsjewelryandcoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back, Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout out to our friends at Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. HeightsSoftWash.com. HeightsSoftwash.com, taking clean to new heights for all your pressure washing throughout the Bay Area. Richard Cumbie's in studio with us, Home Run Electric and Communications. We're going to talk with him here more as well. And I'd like to just kind of give a plug to Mike Rowe Foundation, Mike Rowe Works Foundation. We'll talk about that here in just a moment as well. We've got some new listings here, some great opportunities to buy real estate throughout the Bay Area and beyond. 10001 Waterworks Lane in Riverview. One of my favorite listings here. Cute little home here. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1765 square feet. You've got 2 acres on a lake. It's a beautiful property, Hillsborough County. Now, the owner is currently utilizing it as an office, but it could easily be used as a residential as well. You've got a detached 2-car garage, 10001 Waterworks Lane in Riverview. Another beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. We've got the Weeki Wachee Marina for sale, home of the mermaids up there. 3/4 of an acre. Your waterfront business with irreplaceable waterfront land here. Weeki Wachee River access to the Gulf. Multiple income streams. You got a motorboat repair business there, boat repair business, and multiple income streams as well. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard and Weeki Wachee commercial property for sale. We've got about 50 current listings. We can help you with residential properties, commercial properties, vacant land as well. And we've got a small team, about a dozen agents and members on our team. So we'd love to help you. Check us out online, platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show expert contributors at consumerqb.com. All right, Richard, so we've talked about on previous episodes, the difference between the common, mindset in the 90s especially. It was like, hey, you're going to a 4-year college, you're going to go get your degree, you're going to go, college. But a lot of people, there's a lot of value in the trades. You look at the trades now today, and I like what Mike Rowe's kind of done. When I think about trades and I think about that whole, mindset, I think of Mike Rowe, and he's, I pulled up a little information, but what he tries to close the gap between skilled labor gap. It challenges the stigma around trade jobs, providing work ethic scholarships, promotes the value of hard work and vocational training, work ethic scholarship program. So he's awarding millions of dollars as well annually through its work ethic scholarships program to men and women pursuing careers in the skilled trades. So it's a great opportunity to get involved there. And, the trades are a really awesome way to build up a business and earn an income.
Yeah, and you don't start out in debt, because a lot of people that go to college, you'll take out, for instance, a $49,000 loan, pay it on it for 10 years, and you still owe $50,000. So you're upside down on it compared to the trades. Most trades companies are companies that are trades that are they're going to most likely pay for your schooling and send you that way, because when you go out and do the work, you're more valuable. They charge more because you have that license. You have that knowledge, so they want you to go to school because it's more beneficial. And a lot of times what people don't know is the state of Florida actually kind of reimburses some of those companies. So it's actually feeding back into the system, and going to trade schools, going, to the trades itself is very beneficial, and ultimately it's a faster way to get revenue back into the taxes, because the higher earners or the more money you make, the more taxes you're going to pay.
Yeah.
More houses you got to buy and products.
Absolutely. And you look at the alternative and the opposite there of going to a university, many of which are filled with, terrible mindset, terrible programs that teach these kids to hate the country. The mindset. It's interesting too, the more you study history and the founding of our country, a lot of the Ivy League schools, they were, taught the Bible. They talked about, the ethics and the morals and the foundations of our country. And now it's just flipped on its head. The mainstream, idea around Harvard and Yale and some of these big schools. It's terrible. It's literally teaching the children and the young minds of our country to hate our country. And that's where you see some of these, you get into the Hamas and the whole thing, the Palestinian flags. Our country was founded on Christian, Judeo-Christian beliefs, and it's the fact that all men are equal. We're all created equal. Pretty basic things like blind justice. You see the statue of justice being blind. Those are all virtues founded by our country and created by the West. And a lot of these universities are completely against that. and it's really a bastardization of what our country should be and what higher education should stand for. Final thoughts back to you.
Yeah, especially inside the trades, the most important thing is we don't see any of that. We understand that we don't work behind a desk all day, and if you want something done, you have to go build it. And that's
right.
what the trades are going to be able to do for you, and that's what college is not going to be able to do for you.
Yeah, man.
And if you need home run electric and communications, reach out to us, 813-569-9478, or you can reach us out on our website, Home Run Electric FL.
Home Run Electric FL. Give the number one more time.
813-569-9478.
Yep, and if you didn't catch that, just hit us up online. I'll get you contact information for Richard and have him come out and visit you as well. Thanks for coming in, Richard. Appreciate it. Mark Haye as well. We talked about out-of-the-box college planning strategy with Mark, our financial advising expert. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.